Hey everyone, and welcome to this special analysis. Today, we're diving into a story of pure biological brilliance. It's the story of the human body, but told from the perspective of its ultimate unsung hero. We spend so much time marveling at the engineering of modern technology, but the most flawless piece of engineering you will ever encounter, it's quite literally staring right back at you in the mirror. Today, we're going to let the skin tell its own incredible story. It is an absolute biological marvel that works tirelessly, day and night, just to ensure our very existence.
So let me ask you this. What do you think is the most advanced packing material on Earth? You're probably picturing some high-tech polymer or aerospace synthetic, right? Well, actually, it's our very own skin. It is literally the ultimate packing material keeping us safely packaged inside our own bodies. Think about it for a second. The human body is filled with thousands of intricate, beautiful internal systems, but protecting all that supreme biological tech, that would be absolutely impossible without this incredibly advanced, living material wrapping the whole shebang up.
Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll look at the ultimate packing material. Then we'll dive into the complex chemical factory. After that, we'll cover the brain's sensory network, break down the 3 layers of skin, and finally, we'll talk about rebirth every 27 days. All right, let's jump right into section 1, the ultimate packing material, and how it acts as the body's waterproof fortress. If even a tiny pinprick hole opened up in this armor, millions of fatal microbes could pour right in.
To really wrap our heads around this waterproof fortress, just think about the trillions of microscopic enemies trying to breach it every single second. Countless germs, bacteria, and viruses are constantly looking for a way in. In fact, millions of them stick to you every second of the day. But here's the crazy part. You have roughly 2 million tiny pores covering your body. That's 2 million microscopic holes. But despite being literally riddled with pores, your skin is a perfectly waterproof shield. It masterfully keeps your internal water safely locked inside while completely blocking outside water from flooding in. I mean, you can go swim for hours, take a long bath, or stand totally drenched in a rainstorm, and not a single, solitary drop of that outside water will actually absorb into your internal systems. It's basically magic.
Moving right along to section 2, a complex chemical factory. Because, as you'll see, the skin's services go way beyond just physical protection. Yeah, so the skin isn't just some passive shield, it is a highly active, incredibly sophisticated biological laboratory. Let's break down some of these invisible, life-sustaining jobs, because this is where the engineering gets truly staggering. First up, vitamin D production. The skin actually manufactures this essential vitamin directly to meet your body's needs. Second, hormone mobilization. Now, while the testicles produce the hormone testosterone, it's actually the skin that mobilizes it and puts it to work throughout your system. And third, blood pressure regulation. Your skin plays a huge, active role in keeping your blood pressure balanced. These are incredibly complex chemical processes being managed right there on the surface of your body. And this perfectly illustrates how the skin steps up when other systems fail. For visually impaired individuals, the skin literally becomes their eyes. It's through the skin's unbelievable sensitivity that they can read Braille. Just through touch, they can acquire profound knowledge, learn highly complex technical skills, and even earn major educational degrees. The skin totally bridges the gap, proving it's way more than just a barrier. It is an active interface with the world. Okay, section 3, the brain's sensory network. Here's where the skin acts as the ultimate antenna. The brain is powerful, but it would feel absolutely nothing without the skin feeding it data. The brain is locked away in this dark, silent vault inside your skull. Without the skin's hidden nervous system feeding it information, it's completely numb. Think about this quote from our source material. Without it, we couldn't feel the heat of a fire, the chill of snow, the prick of a thorn, the softness of silk, or a mother's affectionate touch. Wow. The brain itself doesn't actually experience pain or temperature. It relies entirely on the skin to transmit those feelings. Without this sensory network, we wouldn't just miss out on the danger of a burning flame. We'd be utterly numb to the warmth of love and human connection.
Next up is section 4, the 3 layers of skin. Let's do a quick architectural breakdown, because the sheer variety of this organ is just astounding. Sometimes it's paper thin where you can see your veins, and other times it's thick padding like on your heels.
Let's look at how this architecture is actually built. First, we have the epidermis, the outer shield. Here's an interesting fact. God forbid you ever burn yourself, but if you do, that water blister that forms to protect the underlying tissue, it forms perfectly trapped right inside this first epidermis layer.
Right beneath that is the dermis, the middle layer. And finally, the deepest level is the subcutaneous layer. Let's see how this builds into an incredible support system.
This deepest layer, the subcutaneous layer, is thick and foamy, giving it what we can really only call superpowers. First, it acts as a phenomenal shock absorber for your delicate internal organs. Second, it's a thermal insulator, literally locking in your body heat so you don't freeze. Third, and you'll definitely appreciate this if you're sitting down right now, it provides a crucial cushion over your pelvic bones. Without this foamy layer, just sitting on a chair would be an agonizing experience of bone grinding against a hard surface. Ouch, right? Finally, it contributes to physical shape and beauty. Interestingly, some experts don't even classify this deep layer as technically part of the skin, but its benefits to our daily comfort are absolutely undeniable.
And that brings us to section 5, the grand finale of our explainer, rebirth every 27 days. This is the skin's ultimate biological magic trick. We've all heard of snakes shedding their skin, right? A process known in some cultures as shedding its ketchuli. Well, did you know that humans actually go through a continuous shedding process of our own? The big difference is, ours is entirely invisible to the naked eye. Every single time you take a bath, wash your face, rub your hands together, or just put on your clothes, millions of dead skin cells are breaking away and falling off. You don't even notice this massive cellular loss, because at the exact same time, millions of brand new cells are being born deep inside the inner layers, rapidly pushing their way to the surface to replace the ones you just lost. So, here is the absolutely crucial number to remember: 27. Because of this non-stop microscopic assembly line of shedding and replacing, your entire outer layer of skin is completely replaced every 27 days. Literally, you are walking around in a constantly renewing biological suit that gets entirely rebuilt from scratch just under once a month. No way, right? Let's do the math on that real quick, just to drive it home. If you're, say, a 45-year-old person watching this explainer right now, that 27-day cycle means you have literally shed and entirely replaced your skin roughly 540 times in your life. You've essentially molted and regrown your biological armor over 500 times, and you probably never even had to think about it. Which leaves us with this final thought. Knowing all of this, knowing about its waterproof perfection, its hidden chemical factories, its role as your sensory gateway to the world, and its magical ability to completely regenerate itself 540 times, will you ever take your biological armor for granted again? Next time you look in the mirror, remember, you aren't just looking at a surface. You are looking at the most sophisticated, relentlessly dedicated packing material in the entire universe. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep marveling at the incredible engineering that is you.